today we got to talk about Bitcoin. As you can see, we dropped below 100K very briefly here inside of Bitcoin, and now we're seeing a little bit of a recovery. But I want to talk about where I think Bitcoin is going next and what is happening right now. Anyways, remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice, but let's get straight into it. As you can see, we're down 1.4% in the last 24 hours, 9.2% in the last 7 days. 9.4% in the last 14 days, 17.8% in the last 30 days, still up 30%, 34% in the last year. And then we can also see 86 billion inside of trading volume, 2 trillion inside of market cap. So what's happening inside of Bitcoin? Well, right now we are seeing currently a falling wedge. This is a falling wedge right here, typically a bullish pattern. I'm not 100% bullish with the market right now though, but this is a bullish pattern. But remember, the success rate of a falling wedge is only 82%. So bullish exit in 82% of cases, the exit from the falling wedge is upward, making it one of the most reliable patterns for anticipating a positive reversal. Now, this is coming directly from TradingView, but remember, 82% is not 100%, so it's still an 18% chance that this can, crash. So that's what we're looking at, 18% chance of a crash, 82% chance of a recovery from here. But the way it's looking right now, it's looking a little weak. I'm leaning more towards the bearish side because it's looking a little weak, but we are seeing the percent R trend exhaustion here on the daily chart. It looks like it's oversold to the downside, over exhausted to the downside. It could easily have a reversal to the upside, easily, very easily. And that's what we could possibly see here. If we break 100K, well, let's just say 99K because we already hit 99K. If we go below 99K, then what we're looking for is 85K. Same theory as last time. I know, same theory as last time. If we break 99K, we go down to this 85K area. Why do we go down to the 85K area, you say? Well, because on the first pump for this rally inside of 2024, we had a 32% drop followed by a bull flag, and then that led to our next breakout. And then we had another 32% drop on the 2025 pump when we pumped at January. And then, as you can see, followed by a falling, sort of a falling wedge. So I would call that a bull flag as well. And then you can also see up here a bearish expanding triangle. A bearish expanding triangle is a bearish pattern. So we broke down to the downside, followed by what looks to be almost a 32% drop. If we hit 85K, it's a 32% drop. If we don't break out of this falling wedge to the downside, then it won't happen like that. But I'll keep you guys updated. But right now, this falling wedge is looking a little bit weak because we've already kind of broke some structure multiple times here. So it's looking a little bit weak here with the falling wedge. So it's definitely possible a dump could happen here. So I would say be prepared for it because anything can happen at this point, anything. And it looks a little bit scary here. And look, on the weekly chart, this is very telling. A lot of selling pressure here on the MACD. Not only that, the percent R trend exhaustion. I've been preaching this for the last 5-6 months. I've been showing this. And as you can see here, not last 5-6 months, probably last few months, not last 5-6 months. Let's say last few months, maybe last 5-6 months. Let's say last 4. Let's say 4. Anyways, look, at the bottom of here on the percent R trend exhaustion, we've hit once, we've hit twice, waiting for it to hit a third time. There's a possibility that it could break here and continue to the downside. So we also have to be aware of that as well. But we are heading down towards the bottom of here. What we really want is to finish this cycle, to come all the way down here to the bottom of this and then recover. But the problem is, if we are to do that, then what we'll more than likely end up seeing is either sideways trading movement. We would either have to have sideways trading movement, or we have to go all the way down to 85K. We have to do it in order to fill that gap there. But there's a possibility that it might not do it. There's a possibility that it might continue to go, like it might continue on a downtrend. And that's the problem here. We don't want to see something like this happen and then a continued sell-off, right? We don't want to see that. Anyways, the long-term trends, the blue line up here, this is the long-term trend. This is the short-term trend. Notice the short-term trend coming down. we can be saved if the long-term trend stops here and then goes up. But still, we're still inside of a weird space here of Bitcoin right now at the support. So hopefully it doesn't break the support, but it's being very weak right now. So it's a very weak support level. Even looking at the short-term charts, because really this is a short-term price action right here. You want to pay attention to the short-term charts when it comes to this specific trading momentum right here. But when we look at this, it's like, all right, the first time we had the tail end of the candlesticks, right? But then the second time we came down, it was no longer the tail end of the candlesticks. We have the full candlesticks down here now, which means that the selling is becoming harder and more harsh. So that's what we're seeing here inside of Bitcoin. Hopefully it doesn't keep doing it. But anyways, we definitely need a pump to the upside so we can break out of this falling wedge. But as of right now, if I had to give it a scale of not even 1 to 10, but where am I leaning towards, like 50% here, 50% there, 50% upside, 50% downside? No, I'm kind of leaning more like, I would say like I'm like 70% leaning towards the downside, like 70% sure it'll go down like that. And remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice, but I see it going down, honestly. But we'll see what happens. I mean, at this point, anything can happen, but it's just so weak right down here. Usually with the falling wedges, the second we hit the trend line on the falling wedge, we just go crazy. And then the second we hit it, we just go down. But now we hit it, tried to break out, couldn't, hitting it again. And now we're breaking below it on both of those times there. So that is, that's definitely a risk. It's definitely very risky. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about this and if you think that this is going to break to the downside or the upside. But anyways, this is all I got for you guys today. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment in the comment section, all that good stuff. And as always, I'll be back with another video.